I always dreamed about my future and who I would marry. All I wanted was to be just like my mom and to marry a perfect Christian man and to have a family. That's all I dreamed about. And growing up, I had the best childhood. I was so happy and we had so much fun.
When you get impatient,
I had 3 older brothers and they just loved me very much. I felt loved and everything was the best. I was headed in the right direction. I was doing everything right. I was in the youth group. I was living for the Lord, doing everything I possibly could. I was in leadership.
We can be missionaries in our work and in our school and everywhere we go. We should just help people.
I went to public schools and I was always different. I knew I was always different, but I didn't care. I was just confident and I knew what I believed in. I knew I had higher standards and I knew that my family loved me and that there was something out there for me. I had a purpose. And my senior year in high school, I started making a few decisions that weren't me. I don't know why I chose to make those decisions, but I met a guy and fell in love with him. Thought this guy was the one, and my family didn't like him. Well, they didn't support me dating him. They felt like he wasn't the one, and they told me I needed to break it off with him, and I just couldn't. I couldn't do it because I had finally fell in love with somebody, and it was so hard to do that. And I chose to disobey and lie to my parents, and because of that, our relationship got rough, and I found out through a horrible way that he had cheated on me, and it just devastated me. I was crushed, and I lost all my confidence, everything I had hoped for, and I just couldn't believe that somebody I loved that much could hurt me and embarrass me like he did. Because of that situation, I was put into another situation, and I was so depressed and so downhearted that I went and drank at a party and ended up getting taken advantage of sexually, and I just sat there the next day and thought, how in the world could this have happened? Everything was planned out the way it was supposed to be. I was on the right path, and I was a leader, and everyone looked up to me, and everyone was going to be so disappointed. I couldn't tell anybody. And I don't know why, but the next year, that whole year, my senior year, I let my life go. I just made one bad decision after another. And I lived in insecurities and fear, hoping for somebody to love me. And all I wanted still was to find the person that I was supposed to be with. So I finally got back on track, and I realized I was never going to get anywhere going the way I was going, and I made some bad decisions, but I had to move forward. I had to get rid of the junk in my life and just strip my life away of all the bad, and I did. I stopped hanging out with all those friends. I completely gave up drinking, gave up everything cold turkey, made all these sacrifices, and in walked the man that I thought I would spend the rest of my life with. And this man was a Christian. I thought for sure he was the one. He was a pastor's kid, and he loved me. He fell in love with me, and that was what I was looking for. And through our relationship, I gained my confidence back, and I became that happy girl I was my whole life. And I was able to plan again and start over, and I was just so happy. And we got married, and my wedding was beautiful. It was a perfect dream wedding. It was everything I wanted it to be. Being married was fabulous. I mean, it was the best marriage. My husband was in a well-known Christian band, and we toured the country, and we told people about Jesus, and we just had so much fun. And little did I know what was going to happen in the future. He left and moved across the country, and I don't know why, but somehow it just fell apart. And even looking back, I don't understand. I just felt so hopeless and so shocked. I thought for sure that this would never happen. I never had to worry about another person cheating on me, especially a Christian.
I've had enough to break me in two, to tear me apart. What am I to do? What else can I?
It still hurts, and I'm still dealing with it. I'm just learning how to move forward and learning how to trust God. God is constantly there, and He's always there to bring me joy in the littlest areas. And I'm getting through this. Some days are harder than others, and sometimes a lot of time will go by and I won't even think about it at all. It's a constant thing. Things will always come up, but God is bringing me through it. He always has. I'm surprised a lot of people have been very just loving and accepting of that, and that's really helped me so much, just to see people, and I'm building new relationships and learning how to love others again, and grow close to God and find my confidence in God and not in relationships. It's really helped me a lot for people just to love me unconditionally. Would you have guessed that I would have been married and divorced by the age of 25? I wouldn't have, but I'm here and it's happened, and God is here, and this is my life, this is my story.
What else can I do? What can I